What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. This is episode 9 now on the series. Really quick, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has clicked that little red button and helped support the dream. Tomorrow's actually my birthday, and we were able to hit 300 subs here on the channel, and honestly, that is just so cool. That is by far one of the best birthday gifts that I've gotten in a long time. So today what we're going to be doing, guys, is building another coaster. We have this one, the Scoop-de-Loop-de-Hoop-de, which is awesome. It's super fast. People get on, get off really quickly. The queue's nice and short pretty much all of the time. But I do think it is time we build a wooden coaster. But before we get into that, I have a couple of updates that I want to go over with you guys. Starting off over here with the queue for Quick Draw. It now has a little bit of scenery. Also, the layout has changed slightly. I ended up making it a little bit longer. Changed the priority queue so it's more straight. It's pretty much a straight shot now. It gets you a little bit better of a head start in the line also. The other one kind of put you back a little bit too far. This one works out way better. You guys will notice we have 2,200 people in the park now, which is insane. I think about half of that number is right here in the queue for Quick Draw because it's definitely the longest queue that we have. Another change that I made, I don't remember if this was in the last episode or not, but I did reconfigure the queue for tea bags as well because it was just way too short. And this thing holds a stupid amount of people. Way more than Quick Draw, I would think. People, let's see, actually, can I do some quick maths here? So 4 people here in 20 cars. I'm gonna say roughly 4 people per car. Sometimes you only get 3 like this one down here. But that'd be around 80 people on the ride at a time. What is this one? This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cups. So 6 times 3 would be 18, times 4 would be 72. Okay, never mind. So teacups actually doesn't fit near as many people at one time as Quick Draw, but I think this one works a little bit more efficiently because everyone's able to get on and off at the same time, rather than over here at Quick Draw, only 4 can get on and 4 can get off at one time. So I expanded this quite a bit, brought it out to this other hit marker thing, target, whatever you want to call that. Also expanded the path quite a bit, brought it over from the mall, around the side of the hotel, and to this side over here by the scenery from Quick Draw. So we're going to be changing that today. I am going to be putting a coaster right here in this corner, and hopefully we can get a little bit more foot traffic over into the east side of the park, the northeast side of the park. Another addition that I made is added a little bit more advertisement to the mall. It didn't really seem like we were having very many visitors come in here, and a lot of the vendors too were getting stuck in a wall, this wall to be exact. I have no idea why still. I think it's because there was a path that actually went through here into this room, and for whatever reason they would walk in there and then get stuck in the wall. So I kept getting a notification saying a lot of the stores and shops were empty, and I was like, God, where are all my vendors at? So I came into the mall just to look and see if anyone was in here, and they were literally all just clipping through this wall and couldn't move. There was a janitor, a security guard, just a ton of different people in there. So I did fix that, and the advertisements on the outside seem to be helping get a little bit more foot traffic into the mall, so that's looking good. I changed the pricing for all of the rides. So someone left me a comment. I apologize, I don't remember who it was specifically, but if you click on the ride, you check the prestige. If you divide the prestige by 35, that is typically the best dollar amount to charge for the rides. So this one's at like $21.94. I'm sure you could round it up and it'd still be fine. I wanted it to be at the exact dollar amount. Another thing that I changed is added, this took me forever too. The path system in this game is a little wonky sometimes, especially if you're working with a grid system, but I was able to add a second entrance in here, so hopefully that helps out with people coming into the park. Kind of seems like they prefer this left side still, but maybe once we do some more advertisements, people will start funneling into the right side as well. So for challenges, guys, we still have the restaurant challenge. Obviously, we haven't built a restaurant yet. We will be doing that. I just have to figure out what sort of building I want to use for that. We do have a couple of Adobe blueprints that I built. This one, it's a medium-sized adobe building. I thought it looked cool, kind of matches the same color scheme as the other buildings that we have, so I feel like it'll fit in over here. Otherwise, I have a smaller one with sort of a deck attached on the back of it. I thought that looked pretty good. But what we're going to be doing today, guys, what the thumbnail said we were going to be doing anyways, is building a new coaster. So I took the framework from Scoop-de-Loop-de-Hoop-de over here, and I altered it ever so slightly. I made the actual station for the coaster a little bit longer. We're going to be putting this sucker over here. So as you guys can see, it is up in the air slightly. I do want that to be down through the ground. So I have this sort of configured so it's going to be able to fit over here in this corner pretty much perfectly. I suppose I can put it down there and then we can do the advanced move. Security camera looks like it's in a good spot. Let's do that. Let's bring this side out so it's just about through the sidewalk. That looks about the same as the other side. What about that? Does that look pretty good? I think that's about where I had it when I built it. So you guys may notice these beams do look kind of funny. They're not exactly perfect. They are a different beam. It's the Bavarian beam, I think. I'm sorry, Bavarian pillars. So I used a different wood here and changed the color up a little bit, made it darker, matched it with these sort of oriental looking walls, I guess. The coaster we're going to be using, guys, is a wooden coaster that we researched. This one is called the Monster. I don't know if I'm going to keep that name. I guess we'll have to see what the park or what the configuration of the track ends up looking like, and maybe we'll name it after that. So the first thing we need to do is add our exit path. We're going to use the wooden path yet again. And someone did mention that if I moved the exit rather than having it over here, if I moved it to more of the front closer to the operator, people should be able to exit quicker. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I am going to try it out here and we'll see what happens. So let's bring this path off in this direction. Now that we have it over here, we'll drop it down into a nice staircase and we should be able to connect it up here. I don't know why it's making it so much smaller. Maybe if I turn off angle snap. There we go. All right, so now it's straight out there. Let's get going on the Q path. So we're gonna have to do the same thing we did on the previous coaster and actually start from up top here. And we're going to drop this down right here and bring it all the way down. Uh-oh, super high broke down. All right, we're gonna pause this for a second. Come over here to Ascendance. This one is known as super high. It's the 2G colors broken down, and wear and tear is kind of hurting a little bit. So let's go ahead and refurb that. So we'll start snaking this through here. I will come through and square up the paths as well. Now that the queue is finished, let's go ahead and click on the ride here. We have got to enable the priority pass right there. I guess we could try to center it in this little area right here where the blue is. That looks about right. And then we can do the same over here for the exit. I don't know why this one snaps in that way. Yeah, I think that's probably as straight as we're gonna get that. So we'll just have to live with that. My OCD is gonna have to chill for now. Let's try to get these paths more squared up. If we delete this one and delete this one, that squares those corners up. That looks way better. And then let's try to do the same thing over here. There we go. I wonder if now that we've done that, if we'd be able to make it any straighter for the priority queue. I wonder if we square this up and then try to square up the entrance. Is that a thing? Can this actually work? Because we could leave that path there. Whatever. We'll live with it. It's fine. I shouldn't worry about that too much. It really doesn't make a lick of difference. So we just have to figure out how we want to build this coaster. I did a similar design to the Scoop-de-Loop-de-Hoop-de in that we have this sort of U-shaped configuration with some friction brakes right here. Slow the cars down before they come back in. And I made this one decently long. So we have 6 cars here that are going to go down in a line. And let's see, we have 6 seats per car. So this is going to be able to fit quite a bit of people at one time. Hopefully enough people see it and we can start getting a little bit more foot traffic over in this direction. So let's get going here on the edit track option. I think I want to do the same type of thing and sort of take it this direction first, but we do need a pretty decent drop. So I don't know if I can turn a chain. It doesn't look like I can. I can go up or down with the chain. So let's do some drive tires and turn this thing 90 degrees over this way. We might have to make this a little shallower too. Maybe something like that. Straighten it back out. Okay, so I think we'll try to do the chain lift here. If this doesn't work out, we'll have to figure something else, different configuration. So we'll keep it nice and short, 60 degrees up, and we're going to take this thing, whoops, I want this a little bit longer. Right there looks good. Take it as high up as we can until we start to run into the path over there. Should we take it as high as 420 Blaze It? That's about the same height. I think if we taper this off back to 0 and then shorten up the track here, let's try to do something like that. So this will be the initial drop. Let's switch back to a regular track and it'll start to go down. I don't want it to like plummet at an angle, so we'll have it go down at 11.25 degrees, and then maybe we can do a 45-degree turn here, keep that same 11.25 degree angle, and now that it's out to here, let's straighten it back up, and we're going to change this to a 33.75 and then make it steeper as we go. So now it'll be a 56.25 and then an 81. So almost straight down, not quite 90, but let's take this down and then we're gonna have to start tapering it back out. I don't want any twists in this section, so we'll do we'll do a 45 here and then try to keep bringing it up a little bit, so a 22.5 and then hopefully 0 right there. All right, what are we thinking about that? Does that look too insane? I feel like that's pretty good. Like that's a pretty decent drop, you guys. That's almost straight down here on a wooden coaster. So now that we're down, where do we go? That's the question. We can't invert any of these things, but we could do a couple of helix, or we could do a figure 8. It might have enough speed for that. That's huge. Let's try to go helix, figure 8 left. That is as small as we can possibly go there. Let's start the test. I wonder if that's a big enough drop to get enough momentum there. I highly doubt it. Let's get our test dummies in here and let's just see. Oh, before we do that though, we should probably make sure that this little section here, yeah, 5 miles an hour, way too slow. It's gotta be 14, baby. Nothing but speed, as fast as we can go here. Now we'll try to test this thing. Hopefully it makes it up. Let's actually switch to the ride camera, just because we can. So we're gonna carry 14 miles per hour of speed up here to the initial drop. Almost straight down. Yeah, there's no way, dude. No way, not a chance. We'd have to go way higher if we were gonna get that helix to work here. So we'll go back into edit track. Let's ditch this idea. It might have worked. We might be able to just make that one ourselves, but a little bit smaller. I think we're gonna have to go straight for at least a section like that. And then we'll do a helix up left. That looks like a pretty good size, I think. Place that there, but we need it to go back down to 0. So we'll try that. All right, I'm just gonna test it while we edit here. I wanna make sure that it can make it up to the top of this helix. And then maybe we can fit a helix down left. No, that's gonna be clipping through there. We might have to bring it out a little bit more. So we'll place that. Oh yeah, it's got plenty of speed to make it up there. Okay, so we know that works. That's good. Let's bring this out to about there, and then we'll try to place down the helix left. Perfect. Okay, so let's bring this up to 0. I think it's the same height as the initial section, or at least it should be. I don't know why that would have changed. And this whole section up here is gonna be at an angle. I don't really want that. So let's try to change, let's try to taper it off here. So we'll bring this one out to there, this one out to here. I'm gonna try to change this angle to 0. It's gonna be kind of weird, isn't it? So maybe we'll have to take from this corner to this corner. Angle snaps turned on. I don't know why it wasn't giving me a proper, there we go. So what if we flatten it? Is that 0? That looks like 0. I want it flat across the top there. I feel like if it's at an angle, that's gonna be kind of weird for people. So we'll try that. Let's continue on down here. I think that'll be okay up at the top. So I don't want this thing to be too huge. You guys know the queue for Scoopty Loopty Hoopty is insanely short, and I think people really enjoy that. That's about all people ever really say about that coaster, but we're gonna need another drop. That's for sure. So let's rotate this so it's back to 0. Place that one there, and then we'll do a 45, make the track a little bit shorter. It shouldn't carry a ton of speed through this area. Make it back to 0. All right, now let's change the size back to about where we were. Right there looks pretty good. Actually, yeah, right there. Okay, so let's do the chain lift here. Make sure it's at 14. And we're gonna go up 60 degrees again. We'll do that length. Okay, that's not as high as our first drop. I want it a little bit higher than the first drop. I think right there should be okay. And now we can bring it back down to 0. Make this a little bit shorter. And then this section here, we'll start going down again. Uh-oh, T-bags broke down. All right, we're gonna hit pause here really quick. Go into maintenance. Let's see. Yep, wear and tear is pretty low, so we'll do a refurb on that. Okay, let's get back to business here. Let's see if we make this like that, and then we'll do, oh, that's still a chain lift. We don't want that. There we go. Shorten this up and start to turn it. There we go. Now 45. Place that one down, and then let's start doing the drop right here. And now that we're going down at 45 degrees, we're gonna have to expand the length a little bit more. Right there looks good. And then let's bring this down to, let's do a 67.5 first, and then we'll go back to 80. All right, this might work right here. I don't know. Let's just start the test. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it can make its way around here without any issues, but we'll have to see. So I'm gonna keep my eye on the mile per hour as well, because I want this thing to be plenty fast, but I'm not trying to kill people on a wooden coaster. I feel like that's happened too many times. Okay, good little bank through here, through the first helix. Flattens out. Down the second one. It's carrying a lot more speed now. Up the chain lift. It probably had enough speed to do that on its own, but this is the second drop. Really high G-forces through there, but I think the banks might help us out. And then it's carrying some decent speed still up this bank. And hits the brakes. It actually slows down a pretty good amount. We'll see what the test results say. It might be too scary. Yeah, it's too scary. Your ride exceeds G-force limits. Let's check the heat map here. I want to see where the G-forces are too crazy. So as far as lateral G-forces go, this turn is pretty high. This turn right here, though, needs to change. Something about it just ain't right. Maybe if we do a bank there, that might help slow it down, but the actual speed, that's one of the darker areas. It's at 46, but I think that turn might be just a little too sharp, so we might have to smooth that out. Where are people the most scared? Pretty much everywhere. Great. Please let the ratings be a little bit better. Okay, your ride is still too scary. You have to look at the heat maps to see which areas are problematic. For fear, we'll check the heat map. It's pretty much everywhere, which is unfortunate. Over here is pretty good for the fear. I don't want this area to be as scary as it is, so maybe we can put a set of friction brakes over here. All right, let's check fear. Fear's very light right here. Yeah, we have to adjust that drop, dude. All right, that's a 5.29. Fear is up pretty high. Let's roll. Let's do this. So we got green, green, red, green, red, red, green. 6.67, a 5.65, and a 2.25. This area needs a dip, boys. This area right here needs to go down. And then we'll bring this out to there and around the corner, and we'll smooth that. Maybe just to there. Hopefully this is the last one. I don't want to keep editing this thing. I just want to make it as in the green as we can. That's slightly better. What do we got? All right, 6.69, 5.68, and a 2.32. That should be enough to put us at 900. Yes, 925. There we go. We have a new coaster, and I have no idea what to call it. I feel like we could call it the Monster. It's got a couple of twists in it, though. We could call it, like, the Tornado. I kind of like that, actually. No weed jokes this time. The Tornado. Did I spell that right? I don't care. So this is going to be our new coaster, boys. It is unopened currently, but we're about to change that. God, 420 Blaze It broke down again. And we can change the color. Let's actually adjust the color of this. I want more of a red, less of a maroon. Or we could do blue. I don't think we have a single blue coaster yet. Or I know we don't have a blue coaster, but I don't think we have a blue ride yet. So let's go with a blue there, and then the red stripe. I think we'll do white. I think we'll do a white stripe there on the side. Let's open this sucker up. I think people are really gonna enjoy this. There we go. So at a 925, what should we charge people to get on this thing? 925 divided by 35 is 26.42. So that is what we're gonna do for the price. 26.42. And after people ride it, I think the prestige should go up slightly. That tends to happen with the other rides that we have. But if you guys didn't already see, check out our queue scenery rating, 100%, and that's only because of the awesome queue that we built. These plants didn't even do anything. I just did that for decoration. But here come the people. They're all starting to come over this way. That's good. Getting a little foot traffic over here. Some people are turning away and going over towards the mall, which is okay. Not offended. All right, we're starting to make some money again. That's good. Rides and tickets, that's going up. I'm hoping that the coaster is going to bring in some decent money for us because we were starting to lose money a little bit. I did decrease the dollar amount that we were spending on our vendors every month, so they're only making $125 instead of $150. Now let's see after these people get off if the prestige changes. Huh, I guess not. Okay, maybe the prestige isn't going to change. People are saying I was already going to the tornado, but the advert makes me more excited. The tornado is the place the advert talked about. Let's try it. Okay, so people are seeing the advertisements. That's a good thing. Starting to get a couple people on the staircase. Looking nice. We got 2,600 people in the park now. And now that we've added another ride, we should be able to charge $7 for our priority pass instead of $6. Because $1 per ride. Again, somebody had told me that in the comments. I do apologize. I don't remember exactly who you were, but thank you very much for commenting and helping progress the series, push the series forward, and stuff like that. So now that we have a new ride, I think we should probably do the ride view, seeming as we haven't done that since we actually finished the thing. And away we go. This should be pretty cool. So here we have the first drop. You guys have only seen the 2 helixes, so this part I'm sure you'll be pretty familiar with. Down the second helix, around the bend. This part is cool. I really like how this turned out. It is a little slow at the top, but it does pick up speed down here. The banking all looks pretty good. And then we added this little dip right here. Gets people excited. Another dip here. And the final little dip to help the excitement level right there. I really like it, guys. I'm a fan. I think it looks pretty good. So I do think that is going to do it for this episode of Planet Coaster. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.